Welcome to Shaped by Faith with your host, Theresa Rowe. To find out more about Shaped by Faith and Theresa Rowe, please visit shapedbyfaith.com or visit the YouTube channel, Facebook, or Instagram. And now, here is Theresa Rowe.
Welcome to Shaped by Faith. We shape our bodies and hearts for God's purposes. My guest today is Brother Randy Lanham.
That's right, brother from another mother.
I know it, right?
Yes.
So, Randy, you're the educational director. I don't know how you got that. I'm kidding. At the International Bluegrass Music Museum. And you're also a professional musician and a pest. I'm just kidding. You're a professional museum. I think
well,
you better.
Well, you and I, we can joke with each other like that because I am very blessed, and I can say the same for you. I'm just kidding. You and I have been able to work together the past 5 or 6 years
It's been a while.
Shaped by Faith show and the Project Volunteer show, and we've become the best of friends. And I mean, all joking aside, you're like a sister to me. So, like, anytime I talk to you or see you around you, you feel like you're just a sister. So we can pick on each other.
I
right?
know. Yes, we can. We can. Today, we're going to talk about a lot of different things that you're doing in your ministry and how God has just opened the doors for different things. And of course, your TV show, Project Volunteer, that's broadcast into millions of homes nationwide, and that's such a blessing. And we're going to talk about the Christmas Jamboree, but first we're going to talk about your grandfather. We're going to talk about him. So, but before that, and I think I know the answer to this, but how would you explain your passion for music?
Well, it came from my granddad, John Lanham. He passed away about 3 years ago, but since I was 11 years old, I remember as a young boy just watching and listening to him play, and he made it look so much fun. He was always having so much fun with his friends, jamming or doing shows or whatever or playing at nursing homes or whatever that was. He always was having the best time. And as a young boy, I said, I want some of that. I want to learn to do that. I want to be just like my granddad, play the fiddle and have fun like he's doing. And that's where that came from, that this desire to want to learn to play, because not only was he having fun, everybody he was jamming with was having fun. Everybody that was listening was having fun. It just created such a great family environment. And that's what I've always loved about this music, is it's very family oriented. If you're talking about the old time, the bluegrass, the gospel, the old country, that folk style of music has always been very family oriented. That means you have all ages in there singing, people dancing, clogging, square dances. And it's always been a blast for me. And then as I got older, started to enter the professional level of playing music, and that's a whole nother level, and that was a lot of fun. And don't get me wrong when I say that, but it was definitely a season in my life traveling on the road with some country singers. I wouldn't trade it for anything, Theresa, but it's a chapter that is, that in the book I've turned to a new chapter, and I love now trying to pass that music on and teach others to not only love to play, but to share it with other people as well.
Absolutely. So in the schools, you're also teaching the kids in the school. You're teaching at the International Bluegrass Music Museum. So, I mean, you're doing a lot, and you're sharing your passion of music. I think that is so cool that when God gives us, because he's the one who gives us those certain talents and giftings, to be able to implement that in what you do on a daily basis in your job, at your work. It's just a beautiful thing. And that's why people so enjoy learning from you and others like you, because you have that passion, and Randy, that gifting to be able to play the fiddle, and it is straight from God above.
Absolutely. It truly is a gift. All of us have talents. A lot of times when you say the word talent, people automatically think of somebody that plays an instrument or sings or a songwriter or an artist or an actress or whatever that is. But that talent looks so many different ways. Everybody's got something they can do. And that's why you and I are so blessed to do the Project Volunteer TV show, is because we see so many people using all of their different talents, many of which you and I cannot even touch, but we get to see
You're
them
right.
share that with others, right? How
We
cool
can
is that?
try. We can try our best as a volunteer. And that's the beauty of
Yeah.
volunteering. You don't have to be that good at it. You can just
Right.
have a willing heart to do it, to come alongside
Right.
someone and volunteer. So how would you say music helps people who are maybe struggling or going through a difficult situation in their life?
Oh my gosh. So you mentioned Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame and Museum. What I'm trying to do right now is really focus on teaching other teachers and teaching more people to play instruments and sing, and teaching those people then to play with others, and then teaching those little groups to go out and serve in our community, especially to the people that cannot get out. So nursing homes, hospice, hospital patients, places like the Wendell Foster campus, places where people can't always get out. We want to bring the music to them. But I got to tell you, God revealed to me during COVID, I saw all of these headlines always saying mental health crisis. And I read these articles about how that's going to last much longer than COVID. And as we all know, COVID's kind of out of the way now, but the mental health crisis is just beginning with all the things that's going on in our nation. It's so sad. Well, so he revealed to me during that time, I kept seeing it. I kept hearing him say to me, not an audible voice, but speaking to me, saying, Randy, I have given you this gift of music to be able to not only perform, but to teach people how to play instruments, and to teach people how to play together, and to teach them how to go out and use that in service. So I kept hearing him say that to me. I've given you this gift. You can help heal people through your music. And it does heal people. It heals the people that learn how to play an instrument. I won't even go into all the scientific studies. Whoever's listening, you can Google it yourself. You'll find thousands of scientific studies on the benefits of not only listening to music, but learning how to play it. And then there's the side of, then you play it, then you play with others, another benefit. Then you go out and serve in a nursing home, even yet another benefit to you, as well as the recipients that get to listen to that music. It is a total God thing. I see this every day, all the time. And he always reveals to me, he always gives me these little God winks saying, yes, Randy, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Keep going, keep teaching, keep reaching, keep sending these people out. And so I'm trying to grow this army of musicians that are just serving in our community. And that's my primary focus right now. You can call me education director, but it's really trying to teach other people to teach and send them out. And then, Theresa, that I'm a dreamer. That's not a surprise to you.
Absolutely.
So I envision creating a template of what works for us here in the Owensboro, Davis County area, and taking that to other communities and saying, you know what, you can use this model here and create something like this in your community. And that's what I'm doing. But it's all come from God. It's all him putting it inside of me, this urge, this idea, these visions that clearly speak. And it would be so easy just to brush that off and be like, not me. You can't, I can't do that. But he just kept nudging me. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I love every second of it.
The one beauty of what you said is you have to have ears to hear. You have to listen to what God is saying to you. And not only listen, but you have to take action and move towards that vision that he has given you. And he will help you each step of the way. It may seem difficult, and it may be years or days, I don't know, but I do know that when you are obedient, God brings things about for his glory and for his purposes. So we need to take a real quick break here, okay? We'll be right back with more Shaped by Faith. Welcome back to Shaped by Faith. My guest today is Randy Lanham. He is a musician and he is teaching others the art of music and how to share that gift with the world. You really are, Randy. And I know you listen to God. I know you're obedient to him, but I also know you're not perfect. I mean, you're like a brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. None of us are. And that's the beauty, because he could use us all, because he is perfect and we are not, but that makes it even better. It makes me feel so good that he can use somebody like you and I that are not perfect, but his glory is going to shine through anyway. And I just love that.
You don't think
every
I'm
time I read,
perfect, Randy? You don't think I'm perfect?
well, if anybody wants to see, I got a few pictures,
Don't
video clips of.
even. Really? Okay, let's get into what we're here for, okay? So,
Sounds good.
where did you come up with the idea of having a John Lanham Jam Day?
Yeah, so well, Granddad passed away about 3 years ago around this time, and since he did love music so much and he loved to jam with other people, for those people out there listening to say, what is jam? Just
Yeah.
jamming just means like getting together with other people that play music and play music. So they're not necessarily people that you play in a band with, but they're other people that play similar styles of music and similar songs. So they get together and they just play music for hours. And I grew up my whole life with Granddad, just going to jams, and we would jam for 3, 4, sometimes 5 or 6 hours, sometimes without even a break. We would just play and play and play music. So just growing up around that, knowing that Granddad loved that, I thought,
So, Randy, all right, as far as let's get back to jamming. So,
yeah,
you don't have sheet music in front of you. You just have an ear to hear and you pick up on what you need to play. Is that correct?
that is correct. A lot of times, a lot of people in bluegrass gospel and the old classic country don't read music. I grew up playing by ear, so
Mm-hmm.
everything we always played, but that don't mean that everybody has to be that way. But
Right.
for the most part, in the folk kind of music, people play by ear. So yeah, nobody brings music. Everybody just kind of takes turns saying, "Hey, let's try this song," and whoever knows it will play along, and then the next thing you know, you're just playing a bunch of similar songs together. And some people know the songs really well, some people don't, but in a jam session it don't really matter. Everybody's there to have fun. So
That's really neat. So, what's the
yeah.
theme? What's the theme of the John Lanham Jam Day?
Yeah, so when we got together the first year, it was at the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame Museum. We had about 150 people there jamming. It was just it was a few months after Granddad passed away. It was so much fun. I was like, you know what? This is something I wanted to do every year, close to his birthday, November 13th. I
Mm-hmm.
said, so last year we did it at the Pioneer Village, which is inside of Yellow Creek Park. And the
Mm-hmm.
Pioneer Village, those of you who don't know, has a bunch of old cabins, an old schoolhouse, some old barns. And I always loved that place. And I always envisioned in my head years ago, I knew I would do some kind of a mini festival there. I didn't know what it was going to be, but I always knew years ago I wanted to do something because it's such a special place. So I thought this was a perfect time because Granddad loved the old time music. He liked the old time feel. He actually had an old cabin, a bunch of old tractors. He loved antique stuff. So we decided to do it. This is our third year, and it's going to be even bigger and better. We have actual scheduled bands playing under the pavilion. My brother Barry's going to be having his cloggers there, so we'll have some dance. But at noon that day, by the way, this is Saturday, October 28th, from 10 to 4. But at noon that day, we are going to attempt to set a world record for the largest bluegrass band. And we need anybody out there listening that if you play an instrument, if you're a singer, come on out and join us, because we need a lot of people there to try to set this world record. And
so what is the world record, Randy, for what is it?
There's not one for the largest bluegrass band. There's not one in the Guinness Book of World Records. They have not had anyone set this record, but they won't accept anything below 250 people. But I don't have a lot of details. I do know the rules and the regulations that I have gotten that we have to follow, and I got all of that set in place. I'm not going to go into all that because it's kind of complicated, to be honest with you. But I got all that set in place so that, how many ever people's there, we're going to record it all. We'll have it all and then send it in, and they may or may not grant us the, that we are in fact the world's largest bluegrass band. We're going to have fun anyway. So anybody, and I got a YouTube video. So if somebody's out there listening saying, hey, that sounds cool, but I have no idea, I wouldn't even know where to start. If you go to YouTube and in the search engine, you put world's largest bluegrass band, the first video we'll see, it will be me. And it's walking you through the song. Will the circle be unbroken in the key and all, and it even has a chart there you can download and all that stuff. So I'm trying to be prepared. So if any musicians or singer out there are like, I don't know, I want you to be like, go there, and then you can practice. You can feel more confident. Come there that day and join in. Your name will be entered into the world's largest bluegrass band, hopefully.
That is so neat. Okay, let me ask you this. You probably know it's probably in the rules or it's not. If someone cannot physically be there, can they participate online with you guys? I mean, is that allowed?
That is not allowed. You have to actually physically be there.
Okay.
But if someone for fun, now I can't, I'm gonna be too busy to be Facebook Live or whatever. I might try to do a Facebook Live or something like that. Or if anybody's there or can call up a friend across the country and let them join in. I can't actually record that number, but they can certainly be a part of it if they want to. So I really should try to figure out a way to be able to do some type of live broadcast so people can watch it if they're not there, or join in at home, even if that number don't count. So
you should hire me to do that, Randy.
Yeah.
I could come out, interview people. I don't want a hamburger. Yeah. No, but I could interview. I'm just kidding. Okay. We can talk later about
the job.
Okay. So, all right, you're going to have open mic. What does that mean? Does that mean participating with other people, or what do you mean by open mic?
The open mic that day at 10 o'clock is for anybody that wants to sing, play an instrument, and do a few songs. Maybe these are people that don't normally have a chance to perform for anybody. Mm-hmm. And you'll be able to walk up and do a couple songs within that hour. And then the rest of the day, we got, we have bands and dancers booked for the rest of the day. But from 10 to 11 a.m., anybody who wants to play can come. Again, under the pavilion, we're going to have a little sound system and some live music and dance going on throughout the day. But then there's going to be jam sessions, hopefully 20, 30, maybe 40 different jam sessions. All these people spread out all over the place playing music.
That is so neat.
There's food. There's a bunch of
tell me about that.
Crafts.
Yeah, let's talk about what else is going to be there. Food. What kind of food? Food trucks?
Well, the Knoxville Lions Club will be there. They always cooking hamburgers and hot dogs and chips and drinks and snacks. Yeah. And then there's going to be other snacks there available from some of the shelters that will benefit. I want to talk about that here in a second. But there's trick-or-treating. There's games and activities. There's going to be a petting zoo. There's going to be a coffee truck there. Kona Ice will be there.
Oh, coffee truck's important. It really is.
Yeah, that time of year is going to be nice. You can go either way. You can get hot coffee, or you can go to Kona Ice and get, or you can do both, one in each hand. But yeah, there'll be plenty there. And usually the shelters that will benefit, they will usually have some waters and snacks available too. So let me say this real quick. It is a free event, everyone, but we are trying to raise money for 3 local women's shelters.
And
That
you
is
have 30 seconds.
Crossroads, my sister's keeper, St. Benedict's Day Shelter. So any money we raise that day, come and please try to make a donation to one of those shelters. But that's
Okay.
Saturday, October 28th, 10 to 4, Pioneer Village, Yellow Creek Park, John Lanham Jam Day.
We're going to carry this on in the next segment. So everyone stay tuned for more Shaped by Faith. Welcome back to Shaped by Faith. So Randy, you were talking about, the organizations that this event will benefit. So go over those again real quick.
Yeah. So, Granddad loved music. So obviously we're going to have some jamming. We're going to have a lot of music, but he also loved helping people. And he was one of my big influencers when I was young. And just by helping people, he was a volunteer fireman. He did lots of things. I won't even go into all of that, but he loved to help people. He was always generous. So I thought John Lanham Jam Day, not just get together and have fun playing music, but how about we do this as a benefit for somebody? So this year it's going to go to 3 women's and children's shelters. That's Crossroads to Hope. They have an overnight emergency women's and children's shelter every night of the week, 365 days a year. Any women and their children can come in there and get a hot meal, take a shower, wash clothes, and have a bed to sleep at night. My sister's keeper, which is really, really close to opening their doors, will be the same thing, just on the other side of town. And then we have Crossroads Women's and Family Shelter is actually a day shelter. So some of these women that don't have a place to go during the day can actually go to the St. Benedict's Day Shelter. And, if it's really hot, really cold, whatever, they have a place they can go hang out, wash clothes, take a shower, get a meal, and things like that. So all of these shelters are doing amazing things. A lot of people don't even know these shelters exist, but they're helping a lot of women and their children. So we wanted to benefit them this year. So everything is, most everything is free. Of course, you have to pay for some of the things, but most everything's going to be free, no tickets or anything, but we are going to be asking for donations for those 3 shelters. So you all come on out, join the band, or just at least listen, bring your family out and enjoy the big day.
Okay. So you learned that volunteering is so important to help other people, to give them a hand up. And you learned that firsthand from your grandfather, which is it's amazing. That's such a blessing. And from there, you went on to starting Volunteer Owensboro, which really helps people realize, hey, you can do this in your own community. And if you're in a different community, you can volunteer here. And I love what you're doing with Volunteer Owensboro. And through Volunteer Owensboro, of course, segued off Project Volunteer, which is so neat to have a show that actually shows people what they can do and what to expect when they volunteer. So you've got this big Lanham Brothers Christmas show that's probably going to be sold out again, which is so amazing. You need a bigger venue, Randy. Anyway, let's talk about that, the Christmas show, and anything else you want to talk about with Volunteer Owensboro.
Yeah. So, I'll talk a little bit about the Christmas show. We'll circle back around on Project Volunteer, but the Christmas show is December the 9th. It's at the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame and Museum inside the theater there, which is a 450-seat theater, and it is a state-of-the-art venue. Let me tell you, it is nice in there. But we have country singer Brian White. If anybody listened to country music in the 90s, they remember this guy. He's a dear friend of mine. He'll be headlining. We got Mackenzie Bell, awesome fiddler, going to be there. Wayne Morris, Wayne. We work with Wayne. He's going to be there singing. Lucy Jago Cheney and Emmy Kate Williams. These young girls can sing. I mean, they are awesome. Foot Stomping Express Cloggers, but the show was actually December the 9th. We're having 2 shows, Teresa, one at 3 p.m. and one at 7 p.m. And we're already selling tickets like crazy, which is a huge blessing. But if anybody's interested, they can go to bluegrasshall.org and buy tickets. And if you're planning on coming, I would buy them sooner or later, because we are so super blessed to sell these shows out. And I'm so thankful that people find value in our Christmas show. But it is one thing that I always say: we do keep Christ in Christmas. So if you're coming, you will hear songs like Jingle Bells and things like that, but you're also going to hear the message of Christ's birth when you come to our shows, and we will always, always keep it that way. So if you're in the true Christmas spirit, December 9th, come and see us. But that is a benefit for Volunteer Owensboro. So you was talking a little bit about that a while ago, and yeah, I started that from my own volunteering experiences. My family volunteers. I grew up watching my mom and dad and granddad and aunts and uncles and everybody in my community of Knoxville always helped one another and volunteered in some way. So that I just carried that on. But at some point, I realized our town here, our community, there were so many great nonprofits and so many good people that want to help, but there was a void. So we started Volunteer Owensboro to try to, close that gap, so to speak. And then, like you said, from there, I was thinking, these are all God things. They're all things that God has revealed to me. But I thought, if you can't, because I used to think as I volunteered, like if people could just come in these doors and experience this volunteering, they would just really get hooked and want to do this all the time. And then when you can't physically bring somebody in the doors, the second closest thing is video, right?
Right.
So that's where the idea for Project Volunteer came from. And I reached out to my sister from another mother, Theresa. I reached out to you. I was like, would you co-host this show with me? And then we just been having a blast now for 4 seasons, just going around and experiencing all these nonprofits and ways to volunteers. Of course, we've met so many incredible volunteers, so many incredible testimonies, and from recipients. And I mean, we still learn things all the time, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Randy, we've only got like 15 seconds. Tell us the date of John Lanham Jam Day again.
Saturday, October 28th, 10 to 4 p.m., Yellow Creek Park. Christmas show with Brian White is December 9th at the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame and Museum.
All right. Thanks, brother, for a great interview.
Thanks, Theresa.
You're welcome. And thank you for listening. I'm Theresa Rowe. Everyone have a blessed day. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Shaped by Faith with Theresa Rowe. Remember to visit shapebyfaith.com to find out more about workouts, the TV show, podcasts, blogs, Shaped by Faith products, and much more.